Hi everyone. This lesson we are going to explore how we can link ideas to show similarities and differences. But first, let's take a look at the structure of this lesson. To begin with, we will have a revision on adjectives and adverbs to compare. Then we will go straight to 8 words to link similarities and differences. After we understand how to use those 8 words, we will explore more words to show differences and to show similarities. Do you remember how to make comparisons in English? Very often, we use adjectives to describe things. But when we make comparisons, we use comparative adjectives. Take a look of the first example sentence. Sentence number 1. Hong Kong is bigger than Singapore. Sentence number 2. iPhone is more expensive than most of the other smartphones. We also have superlative adjectives. Sentence 3. Leopard is the fastest animal. Sentence number 4. Buses are the least expensive transportation for the elderly. When we describe actions, we use adverbs. And here we have comparative adverbs. Take a look of the first example sentence. Airport Express travels faster than any other railway in Hong Kong. Sentence number 2. You can earn more money when you go to work every day. As for superlative adverbs, take a look of example sentence number 3. Leopards run the fastest. And number 4, the champion performed the best in the competition. Then we will have a little revision. Take a look of your worksheet. In part A, you are given 8 words, and they are all adjectives. But before you try to finish this part, let's take a look of the example first. In a traffic accident, you get hit most seriously when you run towards a moving car. Please be careful with the word serious. Here in this example, you can see that it is not serious but seriously. There is the suffix ly in the end. So it depends on the question. Maybe you have to change the adjective into an adverb to answer the question or to complete the sentence correctly. Now you are going to have 2 minutes to finish this part. You may now start. Time is up. Let's take a look of the answers. Sentence number 1. Rachel is the naughtiest student in the class. She likes throwing stationery in the classroom during lessons and talking back to teachers. Sentence number 2. Students who are the most hardworking and check their answers most carefully usually get the best results in examinations. Sentence number 3. Ramen in Japan is the most delicious. Don't you agree? Sentence number 4. Among the Chinese people, there is a saying, a worn out bed at home can be more comfortable than a luxurious bed for a dragon. Sentence number 5. These days, people go home earlier than they did before the COVID-19 pandemic. Sentence number 6. Someday, you agree that fresh food is the healthiest. And the last sentence. Wonders in life happen because people keep trying harder and harder. So, to sum up, comparative adjectives have the differences between ideas, things, people, places, etc. Superlative adjectives highlight an aspect of a certain idea, thing, place, or person, etc. For adverbs, comparative adverbs tell the differences between actions. Superlative adverbs highlight an action, but we still have the big question mark here. That is, how do we link sentences and show similarities and differences? Take a look of this picture at the bottom. There are 5 people in this picture. They are Kate, Dennis, Joey, and Yvonne. And there is this table that shows the similarities and differences. As you can see, for similarities, they wear trousers, and the second similarity is that they are all standing. On differences, they have different skin colors, and they they have different heights. They also have different hairstyles, and also importantly is that they look at different directions. So how do we connect these sentences about their similarities and differences? Here are the 8 words to link ideas and show similarities and differences. You should also see the same table on your worksheet. The 8 words are or, as, likewise, both, and, however, but, to, and last one, then. If some of these words are totally new to you, don't worry. I will show you how to use them by examples. So here is the first example. William lives in Hong Kong. William's friends live in Hong Kong. To connect these 2 sentences, we can write William and his friends all live in Hong Kong. So please pay attention in this sentence. The word all, A-L-L, all, it would be the best if you write this word right between the subject and the main verb. Here is the second example. William lives in Moon, the New Territories. His classmates live in Yunnan, the New Territories. To link the ideas in these two sentences, we can write William lives closer to school than his classmates. And you can see the third word in this sentence, closer, it is a comparative adverb. And it should be used together with than. We already had a revision about comparative adverbs, so it should be quite familiar to you all. Here is the second word to show similarity. Tony likes playing in the park. Tony's friends like playing in the park too. So here, too is used when you want to describe two different groups of people who do the same action. And remember, it is the best, okay, if you write the word to at the end of the whole idea. Here is the second word to show differences. As you can see right on the left-hand side of the screen here, Derek loves playing computer games. And on your right-hand side, however, his brother Nathan loves sport games. So you can see that Derek and his brother have different hobbies here. Here is another word to show similarity. On your left hand side, you see dolphins, and dolphins live in the ocean. At the same time, they are mammals. And on your right hand side, you see horses. Horses live on land and they are mammals. So you can write both dolphins and horses are mammals. We can also connect these two sentences in another way, in a different way. So here you see the descriptions about dolphins and horses are the same, but we have both dolphins and horses are mammals, full stop, but they live in different environments. So in this example sentence, but is used to highlight the difference between horses and dolphins. And here is the fourth word to show similarity. Hong Kong is a special administrative region of the PRC. Likewise, Macau is another special administration region of the PRC. As you all know, there are lots of differences between Hong Kong and Macau. And from these maps, you can tell Macau is not as big as Hong Kong. And you see, big, big is an adjective. So maybe next time you write a different sentence to compare actions, you may write an adverb but not an adjective here in the same position. Take a look of your worksheet. In part B, Complete the following sentences with words that show similarity and difference. And you see here in part B, the given words have already been discussed just now. And this time you will also have 2 minutes to complete this part. You may now start. Time is up. Let's check the answers. Sentence number 1. Kate goes to school on foot. Lewis goes to school on foot too. And you can see an S at the end. S here means similarity. It's just to remind you that the word to is for you to show similarity. Number 2, John is a meat lover. He can eat at least 500 grams of steak every day. However, John's nephew, Matthew, is a vegetarian. Number 3, primary students are younger than secondary students. Secondary students are older than primary students. Sentence number 4. The Japanese government has faced the problem of low birth rate for years. Likewise, the Chinese government has already given up the one-child policy. Sentence number 5. Both Andrew and Chris are interested in Japanese culture. Number 6. Peter goes to a karaoke box every month, but Helen never goes to a karaoke box. Sentence number 7. The population in India is not as large as that in China. Number 8.1. A double-decker bus takes more people than a minibus. Sentence number 8.2. A minibus does not take as many passengers as a double-decker bus. So we have just gone through 8 words to show similarity, and differences. Then it is the third part of this lesson, that is, more words to show differences. There are in total 8 new words. They are unlike, in contrast, instead, nevertheless, on the contrary, on the other hand, whereas, while. Please pay attention to whereas and while because they almost mean the same, and here you can use these two of them interchangeably. So the first example sentence is unlike Taiwan, Japan is still very worried about any increase in COVID-19 cases. Example sentence number 2. Most people in Canada speak in English. In contrast, French is the mother tongue for over 70% of people in the province of Quebec. Sentence example number 3. More and more Hong Kong people avoid buying groceries in markets now. Instead, they order delivery on their smartphones. Example sentence number 4. Chinese people have been trying hard to maintain the economy for the past months. Nevertheless, the US government is not happy with the Chinese because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Example sentence number 5. Japanese people do not ask for much support from the government in hard times. On the contrary, they do everything they can to help each other and rebuild their life. Example sentence number 6. On the one hand, Canada and the US are both rich countries. On the other hand, foreigners are more welcome to live in Canada than in the US. Example sentence number 7. The LRT is famous for the air conditioning and efficient service, whereas while Hong Kong Tramways is famous for its low fees and history. So I have just gone through review examples on how to use these new words. And it is now time for part C. You have 3 minutes for part C because I believe quite a lot of these words are new to you, so maybe more time would be suitable for you. You may now start. Time is up. Let's check the answers. Sentence number one. There are uniform tests next week. Grace is studying hard, whereas while James is looking for online friends to join his game. Sentence number two. English language is not the most spoken language. On the contrary, Chinese language is. Sentence number three. On the one hand, many workers like taking the MTR to avoid traffic jam. On the other hand, many others prefer taking buses to take a nap on their way to work. Sentence number four. In recent years, people spend less time watching TV. Instead, they enjoy watching different programs on their smartphones and tablets. Sentence number five. Unlike Hong Kong, the economic growth of Macau relies on casinos. Sentence number six. In the past, young people liked to stay late in Kowloon, shopping and having parties. Nevertheless, most of them go home before 10 o'clock these days. Sentence number seven. Cyclists in Hong Kong can finally ride across the new territories on cycling paths starting from October this year. In contrast, the total length of cycling paths in Taiwan is more than 1,000 kilometers. Here is the last part. More words to show similarity. And you can see this funny picture in the TV. That is the newest version of the famous animation from Disney, Lion King. And right next to the TV or in front of the TV, there is a cat. So they look somewhat alike. They look somewhat similar. Take a look at the table. Maybe the last item is new to most of you. Neither nor. Neither nor. So this structure, neither nor, is used when you want to say or write, okay, two things or two people are not suitable for a certain purpose or a certain event. Take a look at the first example. Here you see a picture of a dog family. And the background is Benjamin started keeping Max as his pet 10 years ago in his house. Max lives in Benjamin's house. His children live in Benjamin's house. So you can use the words the same to link the ideas together. That is, Max and his family live in the same house, dash, Benjamin's house. Example number two. Miss Hong Kong and Miss World are similar because they are both beauty contests. Dash. Miss World is on a higher level. Here is the last example sentence. Alan is disappointed because there is neither sausages or nor a stick in his lunchbox. Now is the time for you to try your best in part D, and you have 2 minutes. You may now start. Time is up. Sentence number one. Soccer and American football are not the same. Sentence number two. Many people in Malaysia are similar to people in Guangdong because they can speak Cantonese. Sentence number three. Neither Chinese language nor English language is spoken by all the people in the world. Sentence number four. After the outbreak of COVID-19 virus, we might never have lessons in the same way anymore. So we have done all the exercise in this lesson, and maybe we can think about why we should learn these words. So in the first part, we already have a number of good ways to analyze and present ideas by comparison. However, adjectives are for nouns and adverbs are for verbs only. We need ways to compare ideas in the form of sentences. Some of the words we have learned in this lesson, such as however, whereas, in contrast, are conjunctions. They link sentences to compare and contrast changes between ideas. Some other words, for example, same, unlike, are not conjunctions. They can help you tell the similarities and differences between ideas in their own ways. It is not possible to cover all the words that can show similarities and differences in this lesson, but these words should be enough for your learning for a year or more. That's the end of this lesson. Thank you very much. If you have questions, please do not hesitate to ask your teachers.